Hello, everyone, and thank you for being there. And happy Christmas. And well, let's start. Has been a nice year. I suppose you have some kind of cryptocurrency, especially Bitcoin. I hope you are happy. And before starting, I wanna show you. Well, many people knows Da Vinci J15, and I was familiar with him, but I didn't watch all videos. But if you have the time and you're bored, you don't know what to do, I recommend you to look at the old videos because it really opens the eyes and makes you think about how in this maybe nine years or so since he started posting videos, things have changed for cryptocurrency. And it's also good to see that he was very well. He started talking about mostly gold and silver, but he had a channel for this on YouTube years ago, like nine years ago or more. And suddenly I'll show you a picture. Suddenly he somebody mentioned, why don't you look into Bitcoin? And he did, and he just realized that that was the future. So here's a little comment, and you can see 9 years ago he wrote, and somebody just sent a Bitcoin just for posting the video. So he lost a lot of subscribers just because he started talking about Bitcoin and thinking that there was a possibility of becoming the future currency, the currency of the future, thinking about internet and so on. And many followers just stopped following him, unsubscribe, but some others saw that as you can see, 9 years ago somebody sent a Bitcoin which is now today price at 22 more than 22,000, nearly 23,000 US dollars. So has come a long way, and that's just probably the beginning, hopefully. Okay, so here's the market. You can see everything red, most of it. And despite Bitcoin has been going down, but is 24 hours is less than 4%. Ethereum 6.25, SRP nearly 9, Litecoin a lot as well, but Litecoin, to be honest, went up much more than Bitcoin in the last few days. And so we can see here Bitcoin. You can see today it's interesting to see that the E went down to touch the 10 days EMEA, or moving average, and you can see that we had 2 days going down, touch, and went up very quickly. My vision of this, or my idea about this, is that you can see every time that goes down, very quickly it recovers, and it never stops and never ends. Well, here you can see maybe yes, but never ends the day in the lower part, because there are people willing to buy more Bitcoin, and they take advantage of this discount. You can consider this a discount in the price. Okay, so here we see, here is Ethereum, and okay, well, let's go to the presentation. Well, first of all, please, can you confirm that the audio is okay? It's correct? Can you hear me? Please like. Click on like. You can hear me. And actually, I'm gonna move to to this. Okay, to make it bigger. So let's talk about this year. Uh, at the end of the day, it's mostly about the future. What I want to talk about, because I realize we have been talking about this year already, the news and everything. We can see few news and comment about the yeah, what happened this year. But probably you are more interested in to see what is going to happen in the future, or we can discuss what we think will happen in the future. So just guys, can you confirm? Can you maybe write a comment or something just to tell me if you can hear me, please? Just to make sure that the audio is correct. Thumbs up or just a comment. I don't see anything. Maybe it's taking. YouTube is not receiving enough video. Okay, I got an error message, which is very strange. It should be okay. Okay, thank you, Damian. Thank you very much. Audio working good. Appreciate your comment. So I know now I'm not talking to myself. Okay, so here is the title of this presentation, and just let's go to this. Okay, first of all, some publicity. This is the 3rd of January. I would like to organize something for the 12th anniversary of Bitcoin, the Genesis block. So I think it's a very important event, and I'm celebrating every year since we started this meetup group back in 2017, and I don't want to miss that next year as well. So the 3rd of January, you are around, you have the time. I don't know yet what it's gonna be, what type of probably it will be with Zoom, and I don't know, maybe I don't know. I have to think about, to be honest. You can propose something if you want to. Maybe we can meet somewhere for a beer as well, and we can stream live, or we'll see. But please join us, and we will celebrate the 12th anniversary of Bitcoin. I believe next year is gonna be epic. It's gonna be huge. I think the potential for Bitcoin to become something really, really big and change the world in many, many ways. I would say mostly I would say everything in positive. Like the consequences are huge, and we just barely can imagine. Of course, it's my opinion. I can be wrong, but I think Bitcoin itself is way more than just money, and the creation of money itself is something that pretty much the way it works can have people living their lives in somewhat like in jail or with no freedom. So Bitcoin can open that jail and liberate people. Sounds a little bit, but really my opinion is that it's way more than just money. Probably here, like, we can see much better. So here we are. Please, you can join us a few days from now, the 3rd of January, 12th anniversary of Bitcoin, 12 years and is becoming big and mainstream. Okay, so let's see 2010 in figures. Like let's compare the 2nd of January, and I use the 2nd of January because the first one, well, it's pretty much nobody working, and probably it's more representative the 2nd of January. The 2nd of January 2000 of this year and versus today. So here's the price, Bitcoin price. It went from 7,246 to 22,735, and this is taken in just literally few minutes ago, probably seconds. So what we see there is a big increase in price, obviously, but also you know that in between has been ups and downs. It went down to 3,800, and it went up to 24 something, you know. But when in doubt, yes, especially people who are starting with cryptocurrency, and they can get worried if they buy a little bit today and tomorrow is worth less. But in doubt, please zoom out. So just zoom out, see the graphs, and change from minutes to hours, from hours to days, from days to weeks, and the trend is to go up in price. Okay, so there's volatility, but it's just a matter of time. So the main thing is, don't spend money that you really need to use for something else, or don't ask for a loan. Instead, invest only money that you can just lose, and you don't need in the future, in the near future. So it is more likely to get bigger and bigger. Anyway, the crypto market cap in general, the general crypto market cap in January 2020, it was this. So depending on the country you live in, it will be like 190 billions, or some other people will say 190,000 millions. Okay, but the figure is here. It's also a big increase, obviously. This is the entire crypto market, including altcoins, Ethereum, and others. Here we see the market cap of Bitcoin only. So you can see it's almost the same. I mean, Bitcoin is dominant. Here is the dominance, 67%. But let's see, it has been a big increase. Okay, so now we are here in crypto market cap. So it's a big thing, has been a big increase. As far as I remember from memory, in the previous bull run, I think it was 800,000 millions, the total crypto market cap. This is because some altcoins, and this is something to think about, some altcoins now are way lower in price than back in 2017, whereas Bitcoin is above in price. So the price now of Bitcoin is way more than back in the top, back in the 17th of December 2017, and that says a lot as well. Okay, so this bull run or bull market is being dominated by Bitcoin for some reason. Anyway, you can see that Bitcoin itself, many institutions are just investing in Bitcoin, and they don't care about the rest. They are too small. Actually, for many, Bitcoin itself is very, very small as well. For many, like for example, Apple. If Apple wants to buy Bitcoin, they will raise the price a lot. Just because well, they can and well, okay, I think we are going to talk about this later on. So we were here. Bitcoin market cap, Bitcoin dominance is slightly lower than the beginning of the year, but it's keep changing, and it's just 1%, so it's no big deal, and it goes up and down. And the mining hash power, that will be, for those who don't know, mining is what keeps the network working and safe, and it keeps creating new blocks into the blockchain, and has increased. So it's just keeping up, going up all the time, and it's huge. This EH per second, meaning that means quintillion. So that will be, if I am right, is 101. Yeah, it will be 1 followed by 6 groups of 3 zeros. So a lot. And one hash per second will be 1 calculation per second. So that means the capacity of the mining that is currently on the system it's never been so high, and it's huge, and that is related to possible attacks in the future. That means that if you want to attack this network, you need to have at least 51% of the hash power. That's the theory. It can be lower, it can be higher. The higher, the better, obviously. The lower, the less chances you have to succeed. But also, that means that if you want to attack the network, first of all, you need to have the infrastructure, and there is no infrastructure in the world for this, unless you take it out of this amount of mining. So let's say if you get current miners to, instead of mine Bitcoin, to join you for attacking the network, that means that you can only do that if you pay more than the amount of money that they will get by working, by keeping mining Bitcoin. And that makes so expensive to attack the network that it's almost impossible. That's why it's the safest network in the world. And that's why because Bitcoin is seen as a store of value, just because of this, because it's very, very hard to attack the network. Okay, the last, I could have seen, look for more facts or more comparison between, the beginning of the year and the end of the year, but I think those are things that you can see very, very. You can compare, and you can see, wow, it's only 1 year, and look at the price. The difference is huge. Look at the market cap. Look at the mining hash power. The only thing that shows is that it keeps going up and up. So people are still, or miners are still interested in mining and investing into new devices and bigger mining facilities, and spending more energy in the process of keeping the network safe. And the last thing is how many Bitcoin addresses are active in the last 24 hours. At the beginning of the year, we have 636,000 addresses. Maybe it's not many, but this is only in the last 24 hours that active addresses that have been used, either send or receive Bitcoin. And here we see nearly 1 million in the last 24 hours. This is today's data. Sorry. Okay. Another thing we can look into is Lightning Network. And we are talking about this since 2017 as well. And it looks like it's taking forever and it's not changing. But it looks like the next year, 2021, it's gonna be the year of Lightning Network to be, starting really to be used. It's been, let's say, into this beta version somewhat in the last few years, but for example, Kraken, the exchange, a couple of days ago said that they're going to start using this Lightning Network for transactions. Lightning Network is, for those who don't know, it's a second layer. Yeah, it's a second layer system for Bitcoin, which it's like it's a system where you top up with some Bitcoins or Satoshis, and you can send and receive small amounts without paying or paying very very little fees, so almost nothing, almost for free. And you can send and receive as many transactions as you want, paying very, very little money. And you, when you, let me see. Well, yeah, that's the main thing. So you can start paying small things, cheap stuff like a coffee or lunch, or just anything. You can pay with Bitcoin, because now you will pay more in fees than the price of the product, and also you will have to wait. But Lightning Network is immediate, and so it's faster and cheaper. Okay, so that's a second layer solution for the network to be used also in small payments. Let's see a few news of this year. As you can see, the public companies adopting Bitcoin as a reserve asset. The reasons are several, but the mostly is that the American government and also European central banks and all these people have started to print or to create new money, especially because, faster than they used to do, just because of the why. And people are not working, they are working from home, or they lost their job, and governments are helping them with that money. Apart from that, their companies having trouble. Companies cannot open their doors, so they spend. They cannot have as many people as they used to have in their, for example, in restaurants, hotels, and all this, and therefore they don't get money enough, and the governments are helping them with that new money created. So you can see Michael Saylor here on this tweet. You can see that Michael Saylor is now very vocal, talking about the decision that he took to invest and to buy Bitcoins with their cash, with the company's cash that they have, because he was saying that it was losing value, and therefore he preferred to invest into something that this limited amount of and cannot be created out of thin air. So here we have, this is yesterday's, I believe. So Elon Musk, every now and then Elon Musk writes something about Bitcoin. Sometimes he put Bitcoin, and the other day he put Bitcoin is my safe word. And even some people, by the way, believe that actually the Satoshi Nakamoto, the creator of Bitcoin, is Elon Musk. I don't think so, but the reality is that at the time he was working in PayPal, and also there was he code in the same language. he knows how to code in the same language as Satoshi Nakamoto. But anyway, I don't think it's Satoshi Nakamoto. But Elon Musk is a very intelligent person. Is the CEO of Tesla Motors, SpaceX, and other companies as well. And is a very rich person, obviously. And they were like, Michael Saylor tried to help him and tell him and propose to help him to invest some portion of the money of the cash that Elon Musk has with Tesla Motors. But this is part of the news because obviously you can see famous people and rich people being interested in Bitcoin. Okay, Michael Saylor. It's been, I think it's only this year when he started doing so, and some others as well. But he's very, very vocal and is promoting constantly Bitcoin now, to the point that the company itself has a lot of Bitcoin now, but also he asked for an increase on the, let me express properly. He request more money just to buy more Bitcoin for the company. So people will buy more shares, and that money will go to new Bitcoins. I don't know if I explained properly, but I think more or less you can understand. Actually, you can see here, but later on we can see it here. Okay, so this is 2-3 months ago, and that's the amount of Bitcoins they already bought. And where can we see the date? No, we cannot. But it's 2-3 months ago, okay? And MicroStrategy net income in the last 3 years, plus part of this year, were lower than the profits of the Bitcoins if they sold, but they didn't sell. So they are keeping them. But because they bought cheaper than the current price, because they bought at 11,000, as you can see here, as an average, this amount of Bitcoins at this average price, which is 11,000, and you can consider today's price, which is 22 something, is even higher than two months ago. But that profit, if they sold these Bitcoins, would be way more than last 3 years plus the quarter two of 2020 up to quarter two of 2020. So it's huge. Now since then they bought more Bitcoins, so it's even higher, and that's why is Michael Saylor is promoting Bitcoin and talking to CEOs. It looks like some of them are listening and starting to buy as well. Another thing, 1 trillion is a conservative market cap for Bitcoin, said investment CEO. So you can see a lot of news lately about these things. And you can see some companies, the amount of Bitcoin holding. This is a little bit obsolete, but it is the latest I could find. You can see Bitcoin treasures in publicly traded companies, and this, you see this because they are publicly traded companies, and they need to publish this information, so they cannot have it keep it secret. Okay, and you cannot see here PayPal, which is one of the biggest companies purchasing Bitcoin in the last few months as well. But you can see MicroStrategy, which now has more, and Grayscale, which is buying every week as well. So Grayscale is only Grayscale, let alone the rest. Only Grayscale is buying more Bitcoin than the amount of new Bitcoins being mined, and that is really, really important, because after the halving, which was back in May, there is only 900 bitcoins, new bitcoins, released to the market, or released to the blockchain, let's say, to be more correct, I would say, because then the miners may or may not sell it, but they will have them new bitcoins, and 900 per day. And Grayscale, I think the average is about 1,000 or something per day. So there's way more than this 900. But you see the rest of the companies are also trying to compete to buy Bitcoin. And that's why you can see, again, going back to the chart, you can see when the price goes down, very quickly it recovers, because it's when they take advantage of trying to buy. Well, you can see also JP Morgan back in 2017, they were saying that this is Jamie Dimon, that market the cryptocurrency as a fraud, and he said that he will fire people if he knew they were trading Bitcoin, firing from his company. But now they changed completely. Now they are saying that, okay, well, this is it's an asset, and it can be okay. So Paul Tudor Jones as well, Rob Paul. So there's many famous investors, many people follow them because they have been very successful in their careers, and they listen. Okay. So this is what you can see, more or less what happened in 2020. So there is a new image now for Bitcoin. There is more respect. It's not a fraud anymore in their minds. For many of them, it's a reserve asset, which there's a limited supply. That means that overnight, one person will not decide how many new Bitcoins they're going to be issued to the market. And that's very powerful, because it's kind of safe. It's more, you can trust in mathematics, in maths, because it's something that is clear. You know when it's going to be more Bitcoins. You know when they're going to be, how often they're going to be issued. And you know many things, and you can calculate more your future. And it's going to be scarce. Scarcity is important, because that means that you don't waste your money. Let's say you don't waste. Nowadays, some people will spend money just because they know in the future will worth nothing. So the best is to enjoy now, instead of keeping it for the future, because that won't work. I mean, fiat currency, it loses value over time. But Bitcoin is different. Scarcity is important. It's part of the system. It's part of Satoshi's vision. In terms of Satoshi, there were some comments you can see in the forums where he wrote that because of the halving, scarcity is important because the early adopters will benefit. So there will be it's taken into account, and is let me see. We can see that in the future Bitcoin will be different, but so far has been more speculation. But this play an important role as well, because speculating with these currencies is part of the game to gain adoption, because people will say, okay, well, it keeps going up. I should buy that, and maybe it's the wrong moment. Maybe it's when it's gonna go down afterwards. But this works with the psychology of people, and it makes it more popular in terms of, or I mean, if you know you're gonna get some gains if you buy now and sell in the future, then you will be more prone to buy, other than if it's going to be a static value. And then you need to think about every 4 years there is a halving, and that means that the supply is divided by 2. The daily supply now is 900, but in 4 years from now it's gonna be 450 per day, and so on and so on. So the early you buy, the better in general. So let's see the trends that I think personally that may happen. Some of them are starting to happen already. Some others will may or may not happen. It's just my opinion, personal opinion. So more companies will purchase Bitcoin as a reserve asset. I think this is happening already, and this is why we are seeing the price increase, and that will keep going up, in my opinion, for a while. Lightning Network will finally allow using BTC for small purchases. Now, do I recommend to use it? Yeah, maybe. It's hard, especially one of the problems I see is taxes, because every time you spend, you need to calculate where this Bitcoin is coming from, what price you purchased that Bitcoin, and what price you are selling it. So it's more complicated depending on the country you live, because some countries may not have to. You may not have to do that, but in other countries you have to, and it's gonna be complicated. But at least you have this option, lower fees. The network will have less congestion. There is gonna be more free for other purchases, other transactions, and the fees should go down, which is always a positive thing. Now, PayPal and competitors will also do so. Will also allow using BTC for small purchases. That's what I said. That's what I mean with that. So that will be PayPal now is selling Bitcoins, Bitcoin Cash for some reason, Litecoin, and I think is Ripple, to US customers. And from January, they're gonna be doing it for the rest of the world as well. So I believe this is gonna increase the hype, increase the, make more people aware of cryptocurrency, and some people will start buying and accumulating as well. And it's a very, the only thing that I believe PayPal, it will be similar to Revolut. They will not allow you to transfer those Bitcoins to yourself, to your private wallet. We will see. Probably eventually they will be forced to do so, I think, but it will take a while. Initially they will not do it, same as Revolut, but eventually when the value of Bitcoin goes up enough for some customers to say, look, I want to put it in a safe place, or I want to transfer it to my bank, which is something I will also cover here, and they may have to do that, because at the end of the day, you have purchased an asset, and you may want to sell it, or you may want to move it somewhere else, and they will have to allow you to do so. Okay. If you enjoy what I said, please click on like, because it's a very young channel with just few people, and it helps a lot. The whatever YouTube algorithm is being used. Okay, so Apple does what I think also Apple will have to catch up and need to add Bitcoin to his or her payment system, to its payment system. So Apple has a payment system on the phones. I believe that we had to catch up. That we had to, in order to compete with Square and PayPal and others, they will have to also add cryptocurrency on their payment system. And banks will start to offer their clients to buy, sell, and custody of crypto assets. That also, we're starting to see this already. We got some countries already giving this permission to their banks, and yeah, we'll see banks offering their clients to buy also, because they don't want to lose the train. They want to miss the train. They don't want to. They will see Apple, they will see PayPal, they will see Revolut, they will see others doing so, and they had to do it as well. The next point I see is possibly there will be less volatility to the downside. For what I said earlier, there is all these entities with no Bitcoin or with very few, and they want to buy more. They need to buy more. So they expect any drop in price, and they're waiting to buy more, and at least for a long while, until they accumulate enough to be able to offer the services to their clients, and they will have to have enough, specifically Bitcoin mostly. And the last point will be harder to purchase units of BTC. So it's almost no longer possible for an average person, an employee of a regular job, to buy one Bitcoin, and maybe not in one go at least. So we may start to talk about bits or satoshis, which are different. Bits are, I believe, as far as I remember, a bit is 100 satoshis or 1,000 satoshis. I just right now I doubt, but satoshi is the smaller part of a Bitcoin on the blockchain that you can by software you can modify this in the future anyway, so you can create more. But so far, satoshi is the minimum amount of Bitcoin, portion of Bitcoins that you can transfer, you can send or receive. And bits, as far as I remember, is 100 satoshis. But some people are promoting to start using bits, which at the beginning is something that they were using already. It was common, and I don't mind either. But a bit will be more similar to $1. It's more near a US dollar, and Satoshi is more farther and into decimals. So it will be a few cents. Like, it's not even a cent currently, but probably in the future will be different. So yeah, psychologically speaking, it's easier to say 100 bits than saying 0.0003 Bitcoins. So probably we'll start seeing this change in the way we denominate Bitcoin. Also because if the price keeps going up, it's going to be very, very hard to really, for small purchases at least, to talk about Bitcoin only. Because again, it will be 0.00034 whatever, and it's hard to remember, something like that. And that's why people talk. Some people buy SRP and or other coins which are more similar to €1, $1. More trends. The mass media have started to cover Bitcoin, cryptocurrencies, the price going up, and this and that. So you see more coverage now, but still it's early, and you can see that Google trends are still low. It keeps going up, but it's not as high as it used to be in 2017. So there's more room to grow. And this is also showing that institutions are more interested in Bitcoin, and no, it's not retail people, the one that are moving the market right now. They may, it's a matter of time that they will start also trying to get into cryptocurrency, because what I said earlier about PayPal, about other players, but still is more dominated by institutions. And you see, buying crypto will become more common and even cool, especially among young people. So like having some crypto on your wallet, on your phone, will be something cool. And also because you will be able to really pay with them because nowadays is not so possible. Institutions will mostly purchase BTC, so Bitcoin, whereas retail will buy cheaper altcoins. So lately, I have some conversations with people who don't know much about cryptocurrency, and some of them already purchased some XRP or even Litecoin, and others because, again, they told me, oh yeah, but I prefer to buy one unit instead of 0.0003. And some other people actually didn't even know that you could divide one Bitcoin into smaller parts. So yes, is people like to say I have 1,000 Sharpie more than saying I have 0.003 Bitcoins. And that's psychology, you know. And the last thing, price of Bitcoin may peak in December 2021. Okay, here there is several opinions. Some people say that the cycles are getting longer. So some people say that it used to be 4 years, every 4 years, just because of the halving. This halving event creates scarcity, so less supply, and therefore it creates this hype, which creates the price to go up and then eventually to go down. And those are cycles that are like 4 years old in total. And some other people say that it's not like that. It's actually getting longer and longer, and halving is less and less important over time, or is affecting less and less, which I also agree, because for example, the first halving was 50 Bitcoins every 10 minutes. It was from 50 to 25. So it's a big change, obviously. But let's say from 800 to, well, from 900 for when it's now to 400 and something. Well, it's not so big difference. I'm talking about the whole day. Like that will be 6.25 to 3 point something. So it's not so big deal. It's not like 50 to 25. You know, it's the difference is there is less distance, and therefore less supply as well, and less capacity for the halving to affect the price. For example, now miners have less power to move the market because they are getting less Bitcoins when they mine. In the past, they could dump, they could change the price a lot compared to now, just because they had more Bitcoins coming into them compared to now. Now the biggest one of the biggest entities that can modify the price will be the exchanges, whereas in the past were the miners. And in the future, well, let's see who is going to be. Probably institutions or countries. Okay, so talking about the price, the expectation is that it will peak in December 2021. Okay, like traditionally happen every 4 years, more or less. In December every 4 years of the year that is supposed to be peaking in price, is when with the higher prices. Now, if the price of Bitcoin is not following this 4 years rule, it may continue. Some people say that it's going to be a hyper wave this time because of this huge demand and change of a paradigm, and I may agree with that as well. Like, the chances are now new players are in the market with a lot of money, and they can move the price up without really going down a lot, and it can take longer to reach a higher price. So the implications are huge, because if you are expecting to have a four-year cycle, and you expect, like some people say, it's going to be 50k, 100k by the end of 2021. If that doesn't happen and the price keeps going up, many people will sell way lower than, obviously, the price that could, the maximum price that could reach at that, in this wave, which will be very, it will affect your life a lot. Imagine that you have one Bitcoin, and you plan to sell or start selling in small portions from, let's say, 50k to 100k. You believe 100k is going to be the maximum price. Now, if you do sell the entire thing once it's 100,000 US dollars, and then the price keeps going up, 200,000, 300,000, 400,000. Let's just think about, and it can happen or not. I'm not saying that this is going to happen, but let's say if this is your expectation and you have sold everything and you see the price going up, you will see that, maybe 100,000 at the end of the day will not change your life as much as 1 million could have changed your life. So if I don't advise anybody, but if it was me, I will never sell more than 66%. That would be the plan, 66% in small fractions from a specific price, and keep selling along the way and see what happens. At least you have 33% remaining, so if something like that happens, you still can get some profits. If I'm wrong and it goes down from there, at least you have gotten your money back and an extra money. So I don't know, it's difficult. It's really, really difficult to plan something, and you don't know what's going to happen. Nobody knows. But there are different versions, different opinions, and it's good to consider all of them and to plan ahead. Okay, and the last thing, let's just look into science fiction, and just think about it. Why not? It can happen, cannot, maybe not, but it's good to think about it, because the potential is there, and maybe not all of it will happen, but some of it may. By the way, this is so countries will consider to invest in Bitcoin. Okay, this can be seen as a far-fetched, but I really think this is going to happen. Again, it's my opinion, but I think it's going to happen. Why? Well, if you consider, it's actually kind of happening now, because, for example, if you see Iran, the country Iran is under embargo. So what they have done is, okay, whoever wants to mine Bitcoin here, They can do it. It is legal, but you sell it to us. You don't sell it on the open market. You don't sell it to people from other countries. You sell it to us. Okay? We will pay you for the Bitcoins. And you see other countries doing similar things, maybe not as clear as that, but some others, like North Korea, as far as I read somewhere, they have a division of hackers that they only have the sole purpose. Well, maybe not all of them, but they have many people, like thousands of people working for them. And some of them are trying to hack places where they can get cryptocurrency, people or exchanges, and they have been successful in some of them, actually. So they are stealing Bitcoins and other cryptocurrencies and accumulating them. And eventually countries will consider to invest directly, like buying Bitcoins. Okay? And as it happened with MicroStrategy, the first ones will be the best ones, the ones that will do the best, because they will enter at a lower price and they will be able to buy more and more. So, for example, if we go back into year, I don't know, 2015, Bitcoin after the bubble, let's say, the top price was 1,100 and something like that. It went down to stabilize in 200 euros. So at the moment, that was just after a bubble. So it was like, wow, it's too expensive. And also, look, it went down a lot. It used to be 1,000, now it's 200. But whoever accumulated at that moment, now obviously you can see after a while you can see the gains are huge. But you can see so many tweets, funny tweets, that we already talk about those, because like somebody saying, oh, I'm gonna sell because it went up a lot and now it's $7 US, so I'm gonna sell all of them and that's it. I'm gonna get, I don't know, I'm gonna buy a new computer. Or the pizza. We celebrate Pizza Day as well, and it was 10,000 US Bitcoins for 2 pizzas. So somebody paid 10,000 for 2 pizzas, but not only once. He did it many times, and so you can see that the sooner you start or you position yourself in this, the better you do, obviously, and the less you have to spend and the less resources you need to spend. So you bought a Bitcoin when it was $1 US, obviously with 10 US, now you are only 10, but let's say 100 or 1,000. You spend 1,000 in Bitcoins at the time, it will be like a multi-millionaire now. Same can people think about us now, 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 or 10 years from now. And talking about countries, again, the first ones will be rewarded. Now you can see Michael Saylor with companies, with institutions, has paved the way. It's been rewarded. His company, he's making very good money, and it has become pretty much like a ETF, more or less. So people are invested in the company now because they know they are highly invested in Bitcoin. So, and they believe, instead of buying Bitcoin, sometimes you can buy stock market stocks from this company, because also you can use it for your retirement plan, for example. So small countries will be the first ones, because they are more flexibility in terms of investing some money into this and so on. And I believe in 2 years from now it will be public. Maybe some of them may already been like investing in some Bitcoin or cryptocurrency, but we will see it public, like made public from them 2 years from now. Countries will mine Bitcoin because when it becomes the standard instead of gold. In the past we had the gold standard. Now there is no standard; it's just fiat. But if Bitcoin becomes the standard, then countries will mine Bitcoin, but not just to get Bitcoin, mostly to protect their investment. It's a way to protect over competitors, over other countries. So it's obviously when you invest into an asset, you have to keep it safe. Now with gold, countries are keeping it in very expensive facilities under the ground, with a lot of protection and so on. In the future, Bitcoin will be instead like they will be mining Bitcoin to get a little bit more, but also to protect their investment and to ensure that the transactions are real. So the blockchain is not being modified. And some countries, obviously, there will be early adopters. There will be regular ones, let's say, and there will be also laggards. The last ones will suffer. The economy will be affected because that can bring you back to the past when the gold standard and the silver standard. So those countries using the silver standard were really suffer and create. They have a lot of problems economically. They became very, very poor just because they have their own standard. Silver is something that is easy to get more. There's big quantities, and it's easier than gold. So the countries that started to use silver instead of gold, they had this big problem of people selling their silver to buy gold, and therefore making this country poorer. There's a big, very, very, very good explanation on the book called The Bitcoin Standard. It's highly recommended if you haven't read it, and you can see easy money versus hard money. And the last thing, hard money always wins, which is perfect for now. Easy money tends to destroy wealth because the temptations of making more money of it, because it's easy to make from the government side. For example, just give you an example. If a country needed to go to war, they could either raise the taxes so they could get more money to pay for the expenses, or print more money. Which option do you think they chose all the time? Print more money. Because if you print more money, you are not asking people to give you their money. You are printing more and use it for paying for everything you need to pay. Over time, people will lose purchasing power, but they will blame maybe the shop because they raise the price of the bread or the milk. But in reality, it's not the shop. It's the government who printed more money. But nobody is... it's hard to see so many people... so many people, most people or everybody live their lives trying to get more money. At the same time, most people don't know where money is coming from and how it's created. So, I don't know. It's complicated. Anyway, guys, I think that's all. I hope you enjoy. I did enjoy myself just going through all this. There's way more to talk about, but that's the main thing. So I think next year is going to be huge. It's gonna be very interesting, and look forward to 2021. It's really, really, really. Hopefully, it's gonna be amazing, guys. We have been waiting for this moment long time, 3-4 years. So if you are here since, well done. You deserve it. You deserve now a big reward, and hopefully we will get it. Just make sure you don't sell too cheap. Don't be too cheap, because some people are expecting to get your Bitcoin, and it's very scarce. It's not so many people capable of having. I mean, from now on, price keeps going up, and it may be. Yeah, I think I said enough. Like, don't be cheap. Don't be cheap. Don't sell your Bitcoins for lower than they deserve to be sold, and only if you really need the money for having a better future. Okay, guys, it's been a pleasure. See you soon. Like, please, comment if you want to, and don't forget, the 3rd of January we have an appointment to celebrate the 12th anniversary of Bitcoin. Okay, bye.